In this series of tutorials, we will explore Mudbox, its sculpting capabilities, and creating normal maps for our low poly models. This is Autodesk Mudbox 2011, and when we first open up the file, the application, we're presented with a welcome screen. And I suggest that you take a few minutes and get to know this screen, go ahead and navigate through, learn Mudbox 1-minute movies. Very good jump start here. Also, it gives you starting point meshes. Same as ZBrush, gives you something to launch from, and also it gives you a list of previous files that you've created. As you can see, I've been in here preparing a tutorial for you. So once you go through the quick start tutorials, you will be a little bit better prepared to continue. So let's close out of here and explore the interface for just a moment. Turn the grid on so that you can get oriented here. Now, as I navigate around the viewport, I'm using basically the same controls as Maya, holding my Alt key down with a left mouse button allows me to rotate around potential objects. If I have the Alt key down, middle mouse button, you can track, and right is dolly in and out. So basically the same hand controls in the viewport. Over here you can, much like our other 3D applications, have capabilities of viewing in different camera views. You'll find that under Object List on the right hand panel. You can right click on these and look through the top view and the side view, front view, and perspective view is up here. You can also create additional cameras if you choose, but I find that this little camera bookmark down here is probably the most advantageous for dealing with your cameras. If you pick a camera position, you can click on this button, left mouse button, add camera, and you simply name that and OK, and then you have access to that anytime you want to. You can go right back to that position. So very handy little tray here for setting up your own camera views. Alright, let's start up at the upper left hand corner. File, typical standard step menus right up in here. This is where you will import your mesh. Also, they have Send to Maya feature, very handy for those Maya users. You can open and save scenes, etc. Import. You can import your OBJs or your FBox, your Filmbox, FBX file formats. Up here you have Edit, Undo, Redo, the typical menu selections here. Select all, invert, deselect. You have locking features, invert lock, unlock all, freeze, invert. I think most of you are familiar with 3D applications that use these. They're just generally the same, and we'll walk through those as we continue. Create mesh. Now these are where you will find your standard meshes that you can play with in here to get started. It also has curves. Create a camera in there. That's where you create a camera for your scene. Lighting, materials, and selection sets. Mesh. This is the pull down menu that you will be spending most of your time in. This is where you add a subdivision level. ZBrush has that over here, but you will be adding those here, and this particular subdivision options menu is very important also, and we will get into more detail about that as we work forward. Also, you can step up and down your subdivision levels right here with the page up, page down. Delete highest level, you have that option as long as it's not active at the moment. Recreate level UVs. This is also a tool that you'll be using quite often because as you create your new subdivision levels, you'll be creating your level UVs also. So, and some additional options that we won't be using in this tutorial. Curves, display, you have all kinds of display options. You also have access to those display options if you right click in the viewport. You can go ahead in here and get to know where these options are. Show both sides is the same as backface cull. You can see that in wire mesh. That's W on my keyboard. Or you can simply come in here and show both sides. That'll give you, be able to show the sides, both the sides there. Alright, so, and as you click on the object itself, it gives you additional options and properties for your mesh. Alright, back up in here, render options, window options. We'll get more into these particular features as we work through. Some of them we won't be using at all for this class, but we will be using those in subsequent classes for higher resolution modeling. Alright, so 3D view is the view that we're currently in. You can also view UVs, which is very important, especially because we are creating normal maps. We want to be able to manage the UVs adequately. Your image browser, images will pop up into this viewport here so that you can see those. And Mudbox community, also very important. I suggest that you check out the available resources here. All very excellent. So back here, over here is where we will be finding the properties for just about anything. The properties will be available here, and as we click, much like Photoshop, with the little X and the minus close and open feature here, you also have the look, the see. You can hide that and unhide that. Also a locking feature. Access that here also. So as we go down into that, we can see the properties for the basic head, which is what we have selected here now. And as we select on other things within the scene, we can also see the properties associated with those. So go ahead and explore. They're the typical properties available for your cameras and your mesh. And the more you explore in here, the more tuned you will be with what is available for you as a user. Now, as we come down here, the lower part of the interface, we see a number of tabs for you. We've already covered the camera bookmarks. We have lighting presets. You can, we won't do that right now, but you have available lighting presets for you, and also material presets. Very handy if you are sculpting something that has a very shiny surface. Then you will be able to see what that's looking like by applying some of these presets. I think this is very handy. So, also the fall off. This is where you access that. Some options: add, delete, rename, stencils for you to use, and stamps for you to use in your sculpting pipeline. As you move through these, you'll get you'll get to know them, and you'll integrate some of those into your typical pipeline. But again, please do explore these fully before you leave this application so that you can see what is available to you. Over here on the left hand side, we have the sculpt tools, we have paint tools and pose tools, and we also have the select and move tools. So like other applications, these are the manipulators available to you for you to be able to translate, rotate, and scale your objects, and object mode, faces mode as well. So you can select your faces. Now, as you can see, I have two cursor movement here. The mirror feature is right located in the properties for the faces. You can find that right here. Of course, you have different options for that. The scale, size of your brush, you can also access that by holding the B, as in boy, key down on your keyboard and dragging in the viewport. M will also give you the availability of increasing and decreasing your influence for that brush. Alright, so we've moved through here. Some of these we will be using, some of them we will not be using for this tutorial, but they certainly warrant you getting to know each of them. If you scroll over and hold, you'll be able to access the pop-up windows, which will give you more information about those tools. Alright, now in the next segment we will import ahead and begin to use the tools to develop a pipeline.